Well, they kicked it around for a long time. There was the Turkish, the Egyptians, the Russians, the Greeks. And eventually they said, you know what? This whole religion thing, it's kind of starting to catch on to me the more that we hang out. I can kind of feel my potential becoming one with the potential as described by religion. What does religion think we should do? And so they kicked it around for a long time. And what they realized was there was a religion before, in a sense, the start of all religions, Judaism. There was a religion before that. Basically, the only thing that existed before Judaism was Zarthorianism. That's my religion. It deals with sorcery. And there was a great sorcerer once upon a time. And he built a little place called Göbekli Tepe. And this is like where beer was invented and farming was invented. And they would bring people in and they would talk. And that's all they did. And some people came along, they tried to rob the crops, and they tried to be mean. But Zarthorianism persisted. Somewhere along the way, they came up with the idea of a north and south. And the first guy that they grabbed was an Egyptian. And they made a pact with the Egyptians to see out what it is, this dog star, this mythical being somewhere in the future, who would be greater than all other sorcerers ever. And it got kicked around for a long time. Judaism came along, kicked around for a long time. And eventually, this great sorcerer came to be portrayed as a little baby, wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. At any rate, fast forward. We now have the KKK. We now have the Italian Mafia. We're on the other side of the fall of Rome. Christianity has failed. The Huns showed up and kicked the Pope's teeth in for worshiping the Antichrist, with no sorcery at all. Just a mirror. Just a mirror. So they figured, hell, there's this place on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. I think we'll call it America. We're going to go there. And we're going to do the greatest contest ever of a North and South and people who don't buy it. And ironically, the people who came over first were the ones that didn't buy it. But way leads to way, and the founding document was what it was. They couldn't do anything about it. It was greater than they were. All of the religions threw in. Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Satanism. Who are we missing? Women? That great contest ended up, after they kicked it around for a real long time, becoming MK Ultra. At any rate, what was the myth of the Dog Star is now defined, has come to pass, the missing cornerstone of the White House or Washington, D.C., or the Capitol, or whichever building's missing it, has been found. Pooh's box, all of these things, defined line by line, such that there is nothing left to define, such that all of this has been completed without error. And what they found out upon analysis is that the supersymmetry that exists in these definitions is so great that barely any one human could possibly understand it, resembling that of the stars from which we came. But whenever we take everything down and pull it apart, label by label, who did what we find out is that the people from Europe were always the corrupting factor. From Italy to Britain, they all worshipped the Antichrist. And that's where every war comes from. And that's what they're doing now.